Hey, Friday what?
It's the
Friday the
25th.
5th. We need to come up with some synchronized thing. Ready? We'll go like this. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Yeah!
Hello.
Happy Friday. I'm Trish.
I'm Courtney.
And we're the...
Purple painted lady.
I mean, we're talking about paint. So, you know, I think we need some extra enthusiasm. I'm passionate about paint. When I tried... you probably can't squeeze back there to turn that off, can you? So when I tried Annie's paint, now it's, geez, maybe 10 years ago, the first time I used it, I was like, I don't know, we need to start doing some sound effects, like where I kind of, you can lead in and know what I'm going to do. Yeah, go, woo. But no, seriously, the first time I used this paint, I was so blown away. I remember telling my husband, I'm like, honey, this paint is like the next internet. I'm like, this is going to be big. This was 10 years ago.
It's going to be big.
Big. And
Huge.
I was late to the...
It's going to be huge.
But anyways, I was late to the game because her paint had already been around for almost 20 years. So, but when I had found out about it and started using the chalk paint, I was so surprised, pleasantly surprised. And anyway, so... Fast forward almost 10 years, and that's how I literally got here today. So I'm Trish, Courtney, Hannah's doing the video, and hopefully people are kind of coming in and coming on. We today are going to focus on, why don't you hold up the other one? We're going to be focusing on the new global packaging. And I like to say global packaging. Is that a buzz term from Sloan Interiors or the company? No, but it is defining exactly what's happening. The United States packaging is aligned with all the other packaging around the world, around the globe. And so we went from quart containers to liters.
Yes. And
the liters about 1.8 ounces more. If you are a customer of ours, we held our prices exactly the same. And today we are talking about, I'm holding Chicago Gray.
And I have Paris Gray.
Yes, and now this is the paint that's in the liters. And so oftentimes with manufacturers, it doesn't matter what line of paint you're talking about. Sometimes there's something that's known as drifting in the industry. And what that means is over time, they might slightly change a color. Sometimes it's very subtle. In this case, because we were basically stopping quart manufacturing, moving to the liters, the color that was once known as Paris Gray in the quart, which was this sample board, is in the liter to get us aligned with all the other countries is actually going to be a little different. So this is a raw, meaning unwaxed, sample board of Paris Gray.
Yep.
That's yours.
It comes in the liter.
Yep, that's the Paris Gray that comes in the liter. And I think you're going to find that, Court, why don't you read to me, how does Annie define Paris Gray for us?
Annie defines Paris Gray as a soft, gentle Paris Gray is inspired by the painted furniture found in elegant French chateau or old Swedish manor houses. It's made from a mix of blue and orange, so it works naturally well with these complementaries. Use it over primer red or cream, or with old white or original.
Yeah, sorry, I'm moving this on you, Hannah. Hold on a second. So I feel that the Paris Gray in the liters is not as silvery or blue.
Yeah.
I find that it's more...
It's warmer.
It is warmer. So because the name is the same, but the color is different, and because we were becoming aligned, Annie released a color called...
Chicago Gray.
Correct. And Chicago is definitely more in line to what we in the past had known as Paris Gray in the quarts. I know we're jumping ahead here, Courtney,
yeah,
but I'm going to give you the clear wax.
Okay.
And I'd like for you to put some wax on top of that Chicago Gray. And I'm actually going to, this table's a little wobbly, but I'm going to set the quart of the Chicago Gray right there so we don't forget. That's what we're focusing on at the moment.
Tammy said your hair looks great, Trish.
What? I'm getting, thank you so much. That's really nice. Everybody always compliments Courtney because she's so cute.
With my lack of hair, usually.
Yeah, but because you're so cute. Oh, what is that?
I don't know.
You know what? That was sitting on a... This is what happens when we do lives.
I know.
That's
guys,
why we can't have
unplanned.
nice things.
Unplanned.
It's really difficult to work here, isn't
That's
it?
okay. I can do other
We have a lot of fun. You know, I think you're going to be okay.
Are you good?
I don't know.
You have
It
all
was
the
sitting
whatever.
on that really nasty glass tray. And yeah, so. Hi guys,
Hello.
welcome. We're in the middle of a Facebook Live, but come on in.
Okay.
What'd she say?
I came in for something very specific.
You can go around if you like, and Sarah can easily help you. Sarah! Okay, so we are doing Facebook Live in the store, which means, you know, things are real around here. This is Chicago Gray, and before you finish it, is it getting any deeper? Is it getting any...
And there's this little sliver.
Yeah, so I don't know if this
You can see a little bit.
Can you see a little difference between where it's not waxed and where it is? I don't know if the camera picks up on that. So there's a little section here.
There's also on this board here that's not
Big one?
waxed as
Okay,
well.
we'll go right ahead. And then I did use that. And we'll go ahead and wipe it off. Okay.
Lots of people like your vests too. You're getting all kinds of.
Oh my god.
Well, that is very generous of people to be so kind, so thank you. I can tell you, I don't know if you have someone near you, but this is LuLaRoe, and LuLaRoe has been big for probably the last 3 or 4 years. It's like a direct marketing company, so people can, women sell it from their homes or do house parties, and Lisa Jones is who I often get a lot of LuLaRoe from, so thank you.
Hashtag ads.
Hashtag ad.
So, you know what? Chicago Gray and the Paris Gray are similar.
Yeah.
However, Chicago Gray is actually a lighter shade of it, if you ask me. It looks a
Yeah.
little lighter.
Yeah, just a smidge.
Okay. So this is Chicago Gray
Chicago.
in the liter. And I'm going to go ahead and this is the Paris Gray, if you've gotten in the past, that was in the Quarts. So it's very similar, but not exact match.
Yes.
Okay. You know what we need to do then? Maybe we can play around in case somebody was trying to. So that way we can try to get an exact match afterwards. So I'm going to take the Chicago Gray can, stick it over there. Okay, so now this is the Paris Gray that comes from the liter, correct?
Yep.
Do you want to go ahead and wax that?
Sure.
And then we'll put this in between just to see it. I think the Paris Gray in the liter is definitely more of, I don't know, it seems a little warmer. Don't you think?
Yeah, it's warmer and a little bit more of a taupe in my eyes.
Yeah, it's not, but it is definitely gray.
Yeah.
Way more gray than French linen.
Oh yeah.
So like French linen is definitely more of a taupey gray.
Yes.
I do like this color though, and what I like about the Paris Gray from the liter is that it doesn't have a strong blue hue. Like I felt like the Paris Gray that we had in the past was a little bit, would really pick up on blue depending upon the room you had it in. So there you go. Okay.
So, Marianne's wondering, is Chicago Gray going to replace the Paris Gray?
So, remember when I was talking about the global alignment and the changes? Can I have those 2 containers? So, this is fun. Okay, so the Chicago Gray and the Paris Gray is still colors in our palette. They are neither one that we know of is being retired. Okay, and you know what? I'm holding the cans. Can you hold them so they are appropriately matched? And you know, sometimes we're going to kind of tilt it in different ways, but that way you can get an idea of the colors. So again, my finger right here is next to the Chicago Gray. Yep. And Courtney on the other side is holding the Paris Gray. These are both available. They're available at your local stockist. We have them in all our shops, and if you don't have anyone near you, we have them online. I feel like the Paris Gray in the liter is just, it seems warmer to me. It's
Yeah.
not as cool.
Yeah. I like it.
I like it too. Are you holding them both so that she can get a good...
Yep, I think you can definitely tell the Paris Grey, the warmth of it.
How did you feel about the coverage? Do we have a raw board? Do you want to paint a board? Because when we painted with the graphite, there was one right... we could paint the back one. When we painted the Duck Egg and Svenska,
Yep.
I was really impressed with the coverage you had. So
Yeah.
always make
Let me
sure,
grab a brush.
hey, whenever you're about... I got brushes. No, I didn't. I got a brand new one. Okay, so let's just talk about that. So these Litres are just a little bit different to open than the quart containers. And by the way, does anybody have a preference, Paris Grey or Chicago Grey for painting this?
Well, Marianne says she loves the Chicago,
Okay.
and Melinda loves the Paris.
Well,
So-
Melinda, I'm holding Paris, so I'm going to go ahead. Something you always want to do before you open your container of paint is give it a good shake. Oftentimes, we'll recommend shaking it about 50 times, okay? And then we just want to reiterate this little caveat when you go to open this up. So, when you're opening up the new liter lids, you really want to take your time and wiggle your can opener all the way around. And twist, go ahead and spin that can like a 360. If you try to wedge that under and just open that up in a couple times, you're gonna run the risk of really warping your lid. And we don't want you to do that, because as long as that lid goes back on airtight, you can store this paint at room temperature for years and it's going to be fine. Okay? That is a pretty color.
It is.
So we really want them to see how good your coverage is.
Yep.
You're just using a little artist brush, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's great. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I didn't mean to intrude on your space there. That really has, I am loving the coverage of the
Yeah.
chalk paint from the Litres. I do find that depending on your ability as a painter, that you will absolutely be able to get away with one coat.
Yeah.
So,
100%.
yeah, that looks fantastic. I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions that we're getting at all that you've seen that might be? No? Pretty good? Okay. Why don't we talk while you're doing that?
Yeah.
All of the color charts that are in-house now are for the new global paint.
Yes, that was actually one of my announcements.
Yep, so if you're interested in anything like that, they are available in all the stores and our website. Let me just see one more thing. I think what Courtney and I are going to do is we are going to probably conclude this and then just restart a Facebook Live and let's go into the 3 newest colors that we got in-house.
Sure.
Honestly, this is which color?
This is Paris Grey.
I
like the Paris
love
Grey.
Paris Grey. I like Chicago Grey. It's very similar to the old quart container Paris Grey, but this was very cool for me. Like
It was way too cool for me.
kind of icy. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah. I like
To,
warmer colors.
to answer one of the questions, Chicago is the lighter gray, Paris is
Yes.
the darker.
Yes. So Courtney was great. She went ahead and made up some of these sample boards ahead of time. These are both. Did you do 1 or 2 coats of paint? Just out of
2 coats of paint,
Okay, just so you're aware, so that way it's consistent, and then you wax them.
1 coat of wax.
Yep, and so just like the Paris Grey is right here, I'll hold this one. And then I have Paris Grey from the Litre, and you have the Chicago Grey.
Yep.
So, personally, my preference, I guess it probably depends on what we're doing, but I seem to gravitate toward,
I like the Paris.
I gravitate toward the Paris Grey too. Chicago is going to be pretty similar to that cooler blue gray that if you're familiar with Paris Grey and Quarts, you're probably going to want to stick with the Chicago Grey and the Litre. Cool. Okay, so, hey, we're going to literally clean up our mess, and we're going to come back and do another Facebook Live because we want to show you the 3 new colors that just came in, which are...
Furl, Tilton, and Rodman.
Yeah, we think you're going to love them. So give us like just 2 minutes to clean this up. We're going to be right back.
Yeah.